Trevor Grant from the Leprosy Mission talks to us about the Chanchaga project in Nigeria and also about why he trusts God rather than blames him for the things that are wrong in the world. So, people in Sandy are contributing to Chanchaga this year in particular. What is their money going towards?
Right, their money's going towards actually the physical artificial limbs. They are made up of lots of different integral parts, and the whole process of providing that. It takes typically a week to 10 days for a first user to be measured, have that built by hand. They're individually made, and then to be fitted and to train the patient to use it and to walk. Wheelchairs, crutches as well. It's those physical, tangible things that will help them and completely transform their lives. Yeah.
So you've got a little video for us from Chanchaga. I think you were there when it was being filmed. Was that earlier this year?
That's right. In January of this year, whilst I was there visiting Chanchaga, we also were filming, and it just kind of brings to life all of the bits that I saw, the people that I met, the lives that have been transformed, and you see them going through the various different stages and the ultimate smiles on their faces at the end.
I want to use this opportunity to welcome you to the Leprosy Mission Nigeria Orthopedic Workshop situated in Chanchaga, Niger State. This workshop was established in 1998 with the primary objective of providing prosthetic limbs for people affected by leprosy free of charge. However, we have other services that we also provide for people who may have suffered from other disabling conditions, probably through accidents, polio, or other congenital abnormalities, as the case may be. The workshop also meets the needs of people affected by leprosy across all the TLM supported states in Nigeria, talking about Niger, Kogi, Kwara, Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, FCT, and recently Benue, Nasarawa, and Katsina State. However, we have extended our services to cover all the other states in Nigeria through the support that we provide for IDEA members that cuts across the length and breadth of this country. The Leprosy Mission Nigeria Orthopedic Workshop has provided thousands of prosthetic devices and other assistive technologies to the people that we serve, cutting from 1998 when we started. In 2014, we got funding support from the Leprosy Mission England and Wales, who funded a 5-year project to ensure that the workshop is able to provide services not just for people affected by leprosy, but also to the general public. And the essence of this is for the purpose of sustainability. Knowing that the quality of the service that we provide in this workshop is also able to meet the needs of other people. And so we are able to reach out to other people who need our services, and they pay for this service, and then the profit we make from this is now used to provide assistive technologies to people affected by leprosy. We are currently running the second phase of the project, which is starting from 2019. We have very qualified prosthetic and orthotic personnel. We also have very good collaboration with our host community, the Niger State government, who had also patronized us by sending people with other disabling conditions to patronize our work. You will see, for example, that we currently have 4 individuals from the Yangoji leprosy community who are here in the workshop to be fitted with prosthetic limb. You will hear a bit of their stories as they also relate from their excitement of how they enjoy the quality of service that has been provided for them free of charge.
I am Goji Alheri Budesai Habuja. na gode ma Allah, na gode ma mission. Da yake muna taimako daga kafa har magani har takalmi. Allah ya saka musu da alkhairi. Wa Allah ya ƙara arziki. Allah ya ƙara musu lafiya. Mun gode. Allah ya saka musu da alkhairi.
Inda Zakariya daga Yongoji Abuja. In ya kutu da kudu nan giyan. Mi ari jiyan mi hoyi ko kyan ko ngar sha ko ka ko ne rale mi gode na kebe ni me jita inde mabbe mi sha mi gode na ke mi sha yetti be mi gode na kebe Allah saka nobe
indi Nuhu Ibrahim daga Yongoji Allah hawtiyan be kuturu nangiyan bo Allah hawtiyan ko machine be don be gaddiya Yongoji ay be kokkiyan koyngal be gaddiyan daga no inde do dum Chanchaga ko kiyan koyngal mi godana kebe har joni har jango bo kamba dorgo dia gommi na gode har gobe mission na Allah shaka mashi
tinini Garba Hassan Abuja Yangoje Kwali local government na gode Allah, na gode annabi, na gode missionary. Don haka mun gode Allah, mun gode missionary. Missionary tsakaninmu da su sai addu'a. Allah ya ka taimake su.
We would like to use this opportunity to say thank you to friends and partners of the Leprosy Mission England and Wales who have continuously committed resources to support this work. We want to say thank you for bringing smiles to the faces of persons affected by leprosy. We want to say thank you for standing with the Leprosy Mission Nigeria to continue to transform the lives of people affected by leprosy, and as well as people who have suffered from other forms of disability that are vulnerable and have also benefited from the goodwill of the services and the support that you gave. We say thank you and that God bless you all richly.
So as we're speaking, Trevor, we're experiencing this COVID-19 pandemic across the world. It's affecting us in the UK. We're self-isolating a little bit, staying socially distanced, trying to be aware of our breath carrying the virus. How is it affecting other countries and other places around the world, and in particular, the work of the Leprosy Mission?
Well, just like over here, there's a huge fear of this disease, and particularly for those affected with leprosy, because as we said earlier, their immune system is virtually non-existent. So if they were to get this virus, they do not expect to recover. Our work has had to change slightly because, in fact, the impact in particular in places like African countries and India, where they have gone into lockdown somewhat later than us because it's delaying as it goes across the globe, they have been unable to work because they live from a hand-to-mouth existence. They will go and work today, they'll earn money today, and they'll use that money to eat tomorrow. Without being able to work because of the lockdowns, they are starving. So in fact, for many of these countries and population in general, hunger is a worse fear almost than the COVID-19 virus. But the governments in these countries are also recognizing that we do such great work, and a number of our hospitals are being utilized as COVID centers, which, it's good to be able to be recognized like that, but having to keep very, very separate to avoid any contamination and, of this disease. So our hospitals are working in different areas almost now. They're having to look after leprosy patients. We're providing a lot of food parcels for people because they're not able to work and earn any money, or even going out to beg, they can't because people aren't traveling. So we've got extra cost in providing food. And also we are, in some of our hospitals, being specific COVID centers as well.
So the question that I want to put to you really, which is a little bit delicate, is how do you manage your own psychology with the needs of the world? I mean, you're working with a mission of people that are trying to help the poorest. You see poverty, you've watched and seen beggars on the street, you've seen people dying in the streets in places. How do you manage to live in the Western culture? How do you manage that rather than give away the shirt off your back? And secondly, how do you manage a view of God that allows such differences in the world? You know, I know that a lot of problems are caused by the choices we make globally, and you know, the richest people in the world could help the poorest, but they don't. So it is an issue of the heart. And a lot of the issues are caused by man's inhumanity to man, so to speak. So in Chanchaga, we're talking about replacement limbs because some idiot has left a landmine out where children can play. But what is this doing to your head? Because you've been doing this job now for 3 or 4, 5 years.
Yes, it's a very interesting thing. You have to accept that, you know, God calls us to play our part, but our part is what we can achieve. In seeking support and financial support, sometimes people can feel a guilt in being asked to give money. But what I am certain of is that God never expects us to give any more than what we have and the resources that we have. You know, we are living in a Western society which is so very different, as you say, to many of these countries where the poverty is so rife. I have to satisfy myself that I'm living a generous life in supporting those, not only, you know, in faraway countries, but my next door neighbor as well. And it's providing that love and being there for people locally as well as away. And very often God is blamed for, you know, for famines and all these terrible world disasters. But God gave us our freedom. He gave us our free will. We are not robots that just perform to his bid and call. He gave us our choice. And with that choice, you know, we have to choose how we live our life. And unfortunately, the world as a whole has made bad choices. And it's the greed of man and woman that has led to wars and starvation and lots of food in one part of the world and poverty in another. We have to influence the world that we have an influence in. So it's within our own communities, our own families, and we do what we can do. And if we all did what we could do, the world would be a better place. Most definitely.
So you don't take on the guilt of the whole world or feel yourself the savior of the world, but you do what you can do and try to come to terms with the blessings and the privileges of your life whilst being generous and open-hearted and trying to solve the problems of the rest of the world.
Yes.
And playing your part. And you see the love of God and the love of Jesus making a difference in a dark world rather than blaming God for it.
Yes, we can't blame God for that. We have made those problems ourselves. But we have the love that is the character of God within us. And we are required to demonstrate that love and care for those within our area and locality. And where possible to reach further, as we do, as we're reaching out this year to Nigeria and in the past, Nepal and India. Yeah.
Trevor, lovely to talk to you as always. And it's been a real privilege to have this conversation. Thank you so very much for what you do, and pass our thanks on to your colleagues.
Thank you, Huw.
Good fun, huh?
Yeah.
It's almost an hour. Well, it's an hour and 10, I suppose. So we'll see what that looks like.